Now then, crew, and welcome back to the Andy Mechanic YouTube channel. Now this is, I've lost the plot, it's probably episode 3. Yeah, episode 3 of fitting the TrailTail trailer, try saying that when you're drunk, onto the back of Tool Girl Sarah's Suzuki GSXR 750. And it's proved not to be as simple as we originally thought. And in the last couple of videos I've done nothing but really machining and welding and trying to sort out the coupling where the yoke that mounts the trailer hitch, where that fits onto the bike so it fits on properly. Anyway, you can watch those videos, you know what it's all about. Next step is to fit the pod onto the trailer. And as you can see, it's all mounted up. We've got it all at bench height, so I can do some pretty good filming for you and you can see what's going on. Once that pod's bolted on, and by the looks of it, there's 4 bolts that hold it in place, and it's got an aluminium skid plate because she's going to be going on gravel roads and stuff just to protect that fiberglass pod. Once all that's done, we then need to fit some lights, because at the moment all that's on the back of that trailer is a single red light. I don't even know whether it's a brake light and a tail light combination, or whether it's just a tail light or just a brake light. You know, I just don't know. Are we going to use it? Not sure yet. We'll wait and see. I might even take it off, but it depends. I don't want to leave any holes in it, so I may have to wire it up as a tail light, an additional tail light. They all help, don't they? But the plan is we need stop and tail lights and indicators, all to work off the bike's electrics. So in this video we're going to wire up the trailer side of it, and in the next video, which will be the final video on this whole saga, hopefully, well, no, penultimate, because there'll be a video showing Sarah picking the bike up and riding off into the distance in the sunset, hopefully. So on this video we're going to use these 2 lamps that I've had kicking around the workshop for a while, and I've got some more cable. And do you remember a while ago I had Tool Girl Hannah in the workshop, and she got herself a nice new necklace. Well, sort of. She made this for me. And this was an adapter, or this is an extender piece to go on a trailer. If your cable's a little bit short, then one end is a plug, one end is a socket. Yeah, you know where this is going, don't you? So I'm going to steal these 2 bits. So shh, don't tell Tool Girl Hannah, because she'll be really upset, because she put a lot of effort into making this for me. But I haven't been out and bought any new ones, and you've got to use what you have, haven't you? So the socket, this bit, the little flap, that one, will go on the bike, and we've got to wire that up to the bike's electrics. And that's the next video. On this video we're doing the trailer wiring, where we're going to be using the plug, and this will plug into that one on the bike, and hopefully, fingers crossed, all the lights will work properly and I'll get the indicators on the right side and stuff. So, first job, fit the pod. Here we go. So we can pop the lid off, and it's got these 2 really smart stainless steel catches on the opposite corners, and we should be able to lift that lid clean off. There we go, and separate it from the pod. Now, Sarah's been using this to store some spare bits that she doesn't need for a bike anymore, so we'll take those out for now. And there's also a padlock, some Andy Mechanic stickers that I gave her, and of course the All Balls racing sticker that came off the head bearing set fitted. So put some of those somewhere nice and safe, and a bit of a strap. Don't need that anymore either. Okay, so we're going to be quite careful with this because it is only fiberglass, and we've got to take off this skid plate for now, because that's going to fit underneath on the trailer, and then the bolts will go back through. So looks like we've got a lot of bolts to undo. Jeez. Okay, well, I need some spanners. These are pretty neat because they've got some little, made some little brackets here, look, to hold bungees and stuff, so you can clamp things down inside the trailer. So must remember to put those back on again, otherwise Sarah will tell me off. We don't want that. Okay, well, that's 1 bolt. We'll stick that back on there for now, so we don't lose the nut. Okay. next? I think this was all bolted up just for shipping purposes, really. Remember, it came all the way from Canada, so it's been a fair distance already and not even been used yet. Right, 2 more to go. Last one. Okay, super job. Right, we can get this dropped onto the trailer now, and this is the back, that's right, and this is the front. It should just drop into that recess, hopefully. Bloody good. Okay, well, need some bolts. Now, I don't think the skid plate is handed. It looks like it's the same front and rear, so hopefully. We'll put it bolts to the inside like it was before. So we're going to offer that up. Oh, go through. Okay. Put that little plate on and the washer. Should hold it. There we go. Right, 3 more. Actually, this bit's pretty easy. I wish fitness the bike was as easy as this. Okay, right, we'll tighten all those up a bit later on. We'll make sure that those little holders are in, little mounts are in place. Right, 1 more to go. Cooking on gas. Right. Well, we should tighten these up now, shouldn't we? Before I forget. Okay. Right, I don't want those to turn, so I'll tighten them up from underneath and hold the top with the spanner. That's the plan. That's one. Two, just those 2 to go. Super. Right, last one. Now we get some wiring done, can't we? Brilliant. Right, let's check out where we can fit these lights. I think it's on these back panels somewhere. So I was thinking about mounting these lamps basically on there like that, as high up as we can and as far out as we can, but not sticking beyond the actual the pod. So probably around there somewhere, and that should give us some really good lighting. They're pretty well protected where they are as well, and it's going to let people see where she's going. Don't want any accidents, do we? That'd be bad. So I think we should mark it up and mount these 2 lamps, mount the back pieces on there. The wiring is going to run through the inside of the trailer, I think, at be a lot neater and tidier, and it'll pop out somewhere near the front. And we'll find some little clips that I've got I need to hold the wiring in place. Easy. Right, we'll strip these lights down, work out what's what. Oakley dokley. Should be a lot cleaner job than what it was this morning doing that that spindle. Okay. Let's get that out of the way. Oh, it comes with bulbs. Excellent. And a bit of plastic. Oh, that goes in there, look. Right, well, we're not lighting up any kind of number plate, so we can take that out. And we can stick that one in. And that way, we shouldn't get any white light showing. Brilliant. Oh, they're good. Who makes these? Nava. Damn good. Truck and trailer lamp. And they weren't expensive, but I can't remember how much they were. Okay, so we've got in here common ground, that's your earth. And then by the looks of it, yes, that's your indicator. So we need the indicator wire to go in there. And that's going to be the brake light, the big one. So the brake light wire goes in there, and the tail light wire needs to go in there. Now, I don't know which is which at the moment on the bike, but I do know which is which on the trailer wiring. So this one here will be either, what was it, green or yellow, depending on whether it's left or right. Here will be a red wire for the brake light and a brown wire for the tail light. Awesome. We've got to bolt it up onto the trailer using these two holes here, and it comes with those. Okay, I want to use nuts and bolts because obviously we don't want any sharp edges sticking into the inside of the trailer. That'd be bad. And the wiring needs to go through that grommet, which is way too small. Damn. So we need to replace that with something a bit bigger and drill a larger hole. Not too sure yet. We'll have a little look, see how things pan out, but we can get rid of that for now, hopefully. Man, that's tough. That's a very tough rubber. There we go. Easy. And we'll try and keep the trailer as watertight as we can, if we, you know, based on what I've got kicking around, because I don't have everything here. Okay, well, we know the two holes now, so we can offer this up onto the trailer, drill some holes, get it mounted. Doddle. Right, so where are they going to go? Well, I reckon probably around about there. So we'll just mark, and I've put an arrow because I don't want to get the wrong way around. We'll just score those. Oh, jeez. Let's have another go. I'm going to line that one up. There we go. Cool. 2 holes to drill. That's one. And that one. Yep, there we go. 2. Now I've got some really fiddly little nuts and bolts that I found, so we'll use those. 3mm, a bit small for this job, but it's all we've got. So I'll offer that in there. We've got washers, which is good. Stick that on the inside. Cool, yeah. Hopefully we've got it nice and square, because it's all by sight. Excellent. Right, well, fitting the first one, well, that's pretty simple. Fitting the second one is a bit more difficult because we've got to get it in exactly the same place, otherwise it's going to look really odd, isn't it? Here, okay, I think there's some measurements called for next. Okay, so I've removed that lamp after we drilled the holes. I know I had to undo the bolts again, but I wanted to get some measurements from where these two holes are to be pretty accurate on getting the other side bang on. So, just so happens there's a little gap down here, so we can cheat a little bit. Put our ruler up to the centre line of that hole, take a reading. We've got about 82, 83 millimetres. And this is a constant. I can't measure from the side because it's tapering and it's a bit rounded, it's a bit ambiguous. So we'll measure off here, and what have we got? 145. So let's mark out that hole first. 82, 145. Easy. Now we said 82, didn't we, going up? So we'll do that one first. Okay. That's about 82. Right there. Now 145 off there. 145. Perfect. Right, we can drill that hole now. Hopefully we're in the right place. Woohoo! Great stuff. God, you got to love static, haven't you? Okay. Right, so we'll fit the other lamp now, and then we can use the other hole. We'll get it bang vertical, and then we can drill the other hole. Just gives us a starting point. Okay, in she goes. Excellent. Right, I think I'm tempted to just go and get the cover and make sure, because it gives us a nice vertical line. I can make sure it's dead upright. I would say about there. Looks pretty good. Right, we'll just tweak that bolt up just so it's not going to move around. One final check, because you know what Sarah will say if it's a bit wonky. Cool, and I'm basically doing a 90-degree off that steel frame down there. And from here, that looks bang on. Excellent. Now we can drill the other hole. Now, also we need to drill a hole for the wires as well, so we can do that with the 3mm and then we can make it bigger, because it'll need to be a lot bigger than 3mm to fit that wiring through there. Great job. Right, we'll take the lamps off again now. Just for now. And we can go around and drill the hole for the wiring on the other side. Right, I've refitted the light. Now we know exactly where the hole's going to be, because don't forget, these lights flip around when they're on the opposite sides, and this hole on that side is down the bottom. Easy way of getting caught out, that. Super job. Right, so we can pop that off, and see, we don't really, well, Don't really need a grommet on the lamp, but we could do with a grommet on here, really. Stop the water getting in. I don't think there's any water's going to get in behind this light. It's a really good tight seal onto the actual pod. We'll have a look. Not sure if we've got any grommets or not. We'll have to look around. Okay. Let's go and see how big our wire is. Well, I've searched high and low for my box of grommets, and I think it's still in England at the old farm. So it's found a new home by now, no doubt. So the original grommet was this one here, far too small. The only ones I could find were these, and these are way too big for this cable. You see the big gap. Oh, there you go, that big gap at the top. Ain't gonna work. So what do? Do we fit those, and then the grommet basically protects the cable from chafing, but it's not going to seal it? It's better than nothing. Now I know it's not going to seal the water out, but hey, the lens seals the backing plate. There's a rubber seal for that, so that should be okay. The backing plate seals pretty well to the actual trailer itself, so no water can get in there. So I don't think any water is going to get into the trailer through this. I think the light's going to be okay, and the inside of that little pod's going to be fine too. So I'm going to fit these. So what I need to do, I've just decided that now actually to camera. I actually wasn't going to bother. But you made me. Alright, so what we need to do now is just measure the diameter of that inner groove so we know what size drill bit to use without squashing it. Alright, so I reckon probably, yeah, I think a 12mm will be fine. Yeah, there you go, look, 12mm. Alright, so I'll buzz those two middle holes out with a 12mm drill bit. We'll pop these in, put the lights on for the last time, thread the wire through, wire it up, and I'm going to run separate wire to each light. Those two wires will run down the inside of the trailer. They'll join together at the plug that connects to the bike, rather than having a linking wire on the inside. Just keeps it neat and tidy, that's all. Okay, back to the pod. Hole drilling time. Hopefully it's not going to split. That's not bad actually. Could be a lot worse, couldn't it? Nice and slow. Okay, other side. Super job. Oh, there goes the time machine. Bastard thing. Right, I'll give it a final wipe down before we get the static. Get off. That'll do. Let's get those grommets fitted, I think. Okay, a little bit of, what is it? CRC. 556. Should just make it a bit easy to get in there. Hey, come back. We'll use the other one. fantastic move by the grommet. There we go. Right, that's one side done. To the side. This was the lively one. Hopefully it'll behave itself this time. There we go. Right, let's get those lights bolted back on for the last time. My apologies for the terrible lighting, it's just the sunlight is so bright at the moment. And I can't move, crap, I can't move everything around, that's the problem. It's a bit cumbersome with the trailer on. Jeez, these little lots of fiddling. It's one. The arrow's to the outside, so I've got it right. Woohoo! Two. Right. I'll do the other side and then we'll get some wiring done. Okay, well I think first job is just to pop the bulbs out, make things a bit easier, and then we can't drop them on the floor and smash them because I may not have any spares of these. There we go. Right, the wiring. I've cut two lengths, hopefully it's going to be long enough. Thread that one through there. Now I've got to trim it back. I would say probably about 50mm. Should be ample. Now on this side we don't need the yellow. The yellow is for the left hand indicator and the green is for the right hand indicator. So just trim that back a little bit, probably about to about there, without cutting through the insulation. Tried to block that sun out a bit because man, it was doing my head in. Kills the camera. Can't see shit. The other way to do this, I suppose, is just to hook up there like that, and then you can bear it back, pull a wire out, and use that as like a little cheese cutter. That's the other way of doing it. There we go. At least that way you don't. You're guaranteed not to cut into the insulation then. Right. Now like I said, we need the green on this side, so we're going to get rid of the yellow. Just snip that back. And the other four we need. So the white is the earth, green is our right hand indicator, brown is our tail light, and red is our stop light. I'll just bear those back a little bit. Oh, I know what I can use. Hang on a second. Cheers, Eric. Got to tell Hannah. She'll get mad. She'll go mental with me. Okay, so I reckon we'll try that one. Almost. Let's go for the other one. Next size down. Oh, so easy. Brilliant. Bloody good. Who would have thought for the last how many years? 40 years I've been using side cutters just because that's what I do. Who would have thought one day Eric would have sent me those? Right. Now we're going to need to put these wires in the little clamps, and they wobble around a bit, so we've got to support them, and we also need a little posi screwdriver. So we'll do the earth first, because that's the easy one. Right, indicator next, which is the green. Sorry, you can't see a lot, can you? Because I'm all fingers and thumbs. Right, I use some little pliers for you to see what's going on. There we go. Now, it's a bit awkward because I can't quite get in there with the pliers to support everything. So I want to make sure it's tight. There we go, that's that one. Okay, now the big bulb is the brake light, so that's the red one. I need to back that off a bit down there. Cool. Pop that one in there, look. Okay, and lastly is the tail light, which is the brown. I want that behind there. There we go. Well, that was easier than I thought it was going to be. Sorry, camera. There we go. Okay, right, so I'm going to wire up the other side. Don't need to watch that. Exactly the same, but this wire for the indicator is going to be the yellow wire. And then we'll put the bulbs in and we'll wire up the plug that connects the bike. And then we can test the lights, can't we? Using a battery, of course, because we've not done the wiring on the bike yet. That's the next video. Right, she's all wired up. So we'll pop the old bulbs back in again. Okay, there's one. Two. And indicator. There we go. Right, other side. Okay, side light. Brake light. And the right hand indicator bulb. Bloody good. We'll leave the cover off for now just to make sure it's all working properly. Okay, I was thinking about where we're going to bring the wiring out at the front of the trailer, because obviously it needs to end up being central, because that's where the plug's going to be. It has to be, otherwise we need lots of spare cable when the trailer turns. But I didn't want the hole to be in line with the rear tyre, because that's where most of the spray is going to be when she's riding in the wet. So I'm going to bring the wiring out just down here, and then there'll be a couple of little clips that will bring it across to the centre. That's probably the best idea, because I can seal the clips a lot better than I can seal the grommet, especially given the fact I've only got one size. Okay. So I reckon somewhere around about there is good. Too late now. Okay. Steady away, Mr. Young. Here we go. Right, where's my grommet? Put one somewhere. Okay. Bit of spray on there to make it a bit easy to fit. Perfect. Okay. And I reckon both of the wires will be quite a nice snug fit through this grommet. There we go. Awesome stuff. Okay, that's one. He says, oh, look at that. Come on, Misty, you can do it. Okay, a bit more spray on the wire itself this time. That should help it get through the grommet. There we go. That's not a bad fit at all, I think. Right, allow enough to stay inside with the clips. There's some more on that one. Definitely lots on that one. Yeah, a bit more yet. Perfect, that'll work. Okay, so now these need to come across to the front. Oh, there's not much on that one, is there? Jeez, we've got to reroute it a bit now. Bring it across there. There we go, that'll work. That gives us enough for the plug, which will be about there. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so we can cut these to the same length, and then we can fit the plug on the end. Then we can test it. Pretty easy. Okay. Snip. Then we can snip down those two. Not go through any wires, hopefully. Just bear that back a little bit. That should be about enough, I reckon. Cool, that's one. Two. Easy. Now the question is, which is the left and which is the right? Because at the moment we've got all 5 wires in both again. We need to snip off the green or the yellow from each wire. Okay, better track it back. Right, we need to cut the green off this one. This is the left-hand wire. So we'll snip that off there. And we can cut the yellow off this wire. There we go. Right. Let's get those threaded through the plug. And then we can get those wires bared back and installed in the plug and then test it. Sorry, Hannah. So much trouble now. Right. Okay. Not sure if we can use that or not. Maybe we can get the wires through there. And I cut the wire so I can see basically, you know, instantly where they all need to go, because I can't quite remember without having a look. So I'll leave that down there for a minute. This is the tricky bit, so we need to thread all that through the plug, through this little end piece. That's not too bad, I suppose, we can do that. He says with complete confidence. Oh. This is sort of how they're done in New Zealand as well. They tend to run, especially on the boat trailers, tend to run 2 separate wires all the way to the back to each side through the chassis rails, rather than bridging across at the back of the trailer. Keeps it a bit more sealed, I suppose. Right. Okay, we're about through. She was a bit tight. Ooh. Okay, It's far enough back. Now the biggest problem now is getting this grommet in, because this is what sort of seals the whole thing up. And it does go that way around. Yes, that way around. There we go. And I think that's going to be, it's just not going to fit, is it? So what I might do is just snip that, take a little piece out of it, because it's actually quite rigid, is this thing. I'll just take a little chunk out. There we go. And hopefully it'll be pretty good. So we'll stick that through there. And hopefully that'll tighten up and clamp around those wires. But we'll put that in a bit later on. Okay, time to bare all these back now with Eric's awesome wire strippers. Dark in this workshop working this side. A lot more light at the other side, but you can't have lights around this bit because the doors, they go up into the ceiling. Bit of a pain. Watch this space, people. Okay. So easy. Done. Now I do twist my wires. I know some people don't bother, but it's just how well, it's what I've been brought up to do, I suppose. Maybe it's a Scarborough thing. I don't know. Keeps them all nice and neat though, doesn't it? Stops the little strands breaking off. Remember the colours? So we've got white is earth, brown is tail, yellow is left-hand indicator, if I remember rightly, red is brake, and green is right-hand indicator. Easy, he says. Right. Let's get this taken off. It's a bit harder than doing it on the bench, isn't it? But get the cable clamp out of the way. That can go on a bit later on. Yeah. Okay. You gonna remember the colours for me? Because I'll only forget. Tell you what we'll do, just to make it really simple. We'll just snip them all off really close. And we'll take them out one by one. That's cheating, isn't it? Yes, it is. It's cheating, Mr. Young. Works for me. Okay, and obviously some of these are going to have two wires poked in. So we'll do those first because they're a bit harder. So let's do the brown one first. Okay. Get rid of that. So the second one is brown. And we need both the browns. So we'll just put all the others to the back, out of the way. Get the two browns. Line them up. Well, I never know whether they're on camera or not here. Okay. And then we can poke those in the hole. That's the plan. Right, well, they're both in. Let's tweak it up. And Hannah sprayed this in some grease and everything for us. Wasn't planning on taking it out. Right, next one is the two earths, that's the two whites. So we'll pop the old white out, and that's the middle one. I think I handed this one all on her own actually. I was out doing something else, if I remember rightly. So we can test her work and see how well the screws are done up. Okay. Get in there, mister. You can do it. Twist them together, there we are, look. Right, they're in. Right, I've got one more double, which is the brake light, the red. So we'll get rid of that second from the end. Get the two reds. Actually quite fiddly. It's not an easy thing to do to camera. Away from the bench. Oh, come on. Right. Is it going to go in? Yes. There we go. Give it a bit of a tweak. Right, easy ones now. Single wires. So we need the green to be all the way over there, which is probably easier to go that way. We need the yellow one all the way over this side. It's sod's law, isn't it? Right. Okay, let's do the green first. It's always a good idea not to try and unscrew the screws all the way because they're a bit of a shit to get back in again. There we go, that was more luck than judgment. See if we can get it a bit further in. There we go. Cool, that's good and secure. Last one. For those of you that are still watching, yellow. Right, we'll put that in there. Oh, don't do that. Nope, and again. This one's supposed to be an easy one. There we go. Okay, let's tweak it up. Excellent. Okay, so they're all in. And now, I'll try and get the cable clamp on. Now, last time we had it facing that way, but now we've got two wires. I'm going to flick it around, give ourselves a bit more room. There we go. We're going to need that, I'm sure. That's that one in. One, two, cool. Okay, is there any room for that grommet? I don't think there is. We'll have to leave the grommet out. Okay, where's the lid? One lid. Oh, slide that down. Oh, it's really tight. It's really, really tight. There we go. Onto the threads, give it a tweak. Fingers are hurting now. Right, she's done. All we need to do now is put the ground of a battery onto the center one, and then we can test all the lights. Yeah, I've forgotten which is which already. We'll soon work it out. Battery negative. Not that it really matters too much, but let's do it properly. So, battery negative, and that can go on that center pin because I know that that's ground. And then battery positive. Now, what was it? I think that was the... Was that the green up there? I think it was, wasn't it? Tell you what. Let's just wind that back a bit. To be conclusive, we'll just sneak that little lid out. Yes, I was right. Okay, so we can pop that on there. And we should have a right-hand indicator. Let's go have a look. We do. Right, you stay there and I'll test the other ones and you can tell me if they're working or not. Alright, so we should have now a left-hand indicator. Yep, that's the outer one. Okay, we should now have brake lights on both sides. That's these two. Yep, they're both on. And then we should have tail lights on both sides. We do. That's the inner ones, look. Ones that aren't quite so bright. Perfect. Right, we'll put the covers on, test them again, and then we're all done. Right, now don't forget this little sealing ring. It's a bit fiddly, but it has to go in. Otherwise, you'll get water in your lights. There we go. That should stay put while we get the lens on. Okay. Lens goes on. Let's get a screw. Now it's important not to over tighten these because you can actually crack the lens if you're not careful. And one or two might say, Andy, why are you not fitting LED lights? Well, I'll tell you why, because you can't fix LED lights at the side of the road. And if Sarah's in the middle of nowhere, she's far more likely to be able to go buy a bulb and fix the problem than if an LED light cluster goes down. Because if it goes down, she's screwed, isn't she? She can't fix it. So normal lights, normal bulbs, I think, are a far better option if you're in the middle of nowhere. And Sarah will be in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, so I'm not a fan of the LED lights, in all honesty. They say that they burn for, what is it, 50,000 hours before they need replacing. That is a load of bullshit. Absolute load of rubbish. Okay, see if we can sneak that in there. Didn't feel very happy. What's going on? There we go, much better. I think Sarah's going to be very happy with this. You've done a pretty good job. There we go. Okay, final test. What should we do first? Let's do the right hand indicator first, and I'll make it flash for you. How's that? That's working. Okay, left hand indicator. Fantastic. Let's do the side of the tail lights. That's the dull red. Okay. Not too sure. I'm going to come to the back and have a watch. So they should be on. Oh yeah, perfect. Okay, and now we're going to go for the brake lights, which should be a lot brighter. There we go, brake lights. Fantastic. That's a good job done. Right, there's two things that I need to address before I can sign off the lighting on the trailer. One is I need to find some little clips that are going to hold the wiring nice and neat and tidy as it runs through the inside of the pod, and on the outside maybe a couple of clips so it's the wires centralized to line up with the center line of the bike, and that way it won't have to increase or decrease in length when the bike turns, only a little bit when it goes up and downhill, and it's going to be very small changes. So I'm going to have to do that at a later date because I can't find my clips, and I think Ben's had them. Ben's not at home at the moment, so I'll send him a text, find out where they are, and put those in tomorrow. So you'll see that on the next video anyway. The other thing I need to address is, remember that light on the back of the lid? There, look. That's the only light that this trailer came with. If I flick it over, if you have a look inside, it connects to a 9-volt battery. It's just a tail light. Not very practical for $3,500, is it? Problem is, in this country, if you have a light fitted or a lamp unit fitted to a vehicle, it has to work. So she could potentially get pulled up by the cops if that's not illuminated. So I'll have a chat with Sarah, find out if she wants me to leave it on so she can use a 9-volt battery. It's not going to happen, it's going to go flat, obviously. Or whether she wants to take that light off. What I don't want to do is to wire it into the vehicle lights, because then we're going to need an extra plug, and it's every time she takes the lid off she's got to unplug that wire, and it's not going to last very long. Again, just not practical. So that positioning, having a light on the lid, stupid idea in my opinion. Yeah, I'd much rather just take it off and blank up the holes, just put the bolts back in with a bit of sealant on them, job done. Okay, well, brake lights are still on. That brings me to the end of this video. So what have we done in this video? Well, we fitted the pod, probably quite a long video again. Fitted the pod, fitted some rear light clusters to the back of the trailer, nice and neat I thought too. Wired them all up, run the wiring through the pod, and put on the trailer plug, ready for it to plug into the bike. The next video, and the last video for this particular job, is going to be basically fitting this trailer lighting socket to the bike and wiring it in to the harness of the bike, so that when she turns the indicators on the bike, one of the indicators works on the trailer and vice versa, brake lights, tail lights and so on, just like you would do a trailer on a car. I'd like to hard mount the socket so it's not hanging around. I don't want things getting caught in the rear wheel, so again that's going to be mounted somewhere on the rear mudguard, hopefully maybe underneath or just sticking out at the bottom of the number plate. Nice and neat, you know. I like to have things neat. Well, that's it, job done. I'm going to call it a day, I'm knackered. Okay crew, well if you enjoyed the video, why not click on subscribe? It's just up here somewhere, I think it is. Click on subscribe, you'll see a little gear icon turn up, click on the gear icon and then you can tick the box and turn on notifications, and our friends down at YouTube will send you an email as and when I upload any new videos. And there's usually, well, I think in May I uploaded 20 videos, so what's that, 4 a week, 5 a week, 4.5 a week, something like that, I don't know. So there's always content going on to the channel, and there's already about 450 videos on this channel covering various kinds of automotive repairs, cars, motorcycles, trailers, that kind of stuff. You'll also find me on Facebook, Instagram, Google+, and Twitter. Feel free to communicate through any of those portals, but first point of contact, if you don't mind, through the comments on YouTube, because that's where the videos are and that's where I am looking for the comments. And I do try to answer as many as I can, but man, there's so many now, it's hard work, you know, I'm a busy chap. So those of you that put comments on, asking questions, if I didn't get back to you, my sincere apologies. I am just too busy, either at work or making videos. And I work a lot away as well. When I'm away, I can't do anything on an evening, obviously. There's also a new Patreon page, so you can drop onto that, have a look about the history and how the YouTube channel came around to be, and up and coming future projects as well. If you're feeling flush, you can always become a patron and drop a donation our way, because you know, even a buck, it all helps, doesn't it? All right, crew. Well, until next time. Cheers. Over and out. Until girl Sam. How are you?
Back.
You're back. Fantastic.
So
I know, and I've got a new shirt, so I thought it's only right that I give you a new shirt too. So there you go.
yes, so excited for my new shirt, and I don't have to wear different shirts every day. And as a classic Tall Girl Sam move, I am going to wear it like this. Wow, would you look at that? I'd say that is a great present for your girlfriend if she's into tools. If she's not, she's probably into tools because you're a tool. See what I did there? Tool girl shirt, perfect.